Hi, and welcome to Genuine Nonsense. I'm Kelly McFarland, and it's 10 p.m. on Monday night. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching this on the replay, please feel free to leave any sort of comment to let us know that you were here. And welcome back if you're a returner. Happy holidays. It's officially Happy Holidays seating. Seating? Yes, from a distance. Greetings, right? I love saying happy holidays. I feel like it's all encompassing, and you can start saying it Thanksgiving and take it all the way through the new year, right? It's such a better way to end your emails, right? Thanks, yours, happy holidays. So I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate that. I had a very quiet Thanksgiving. I was very thankful for the quiet and thankful that I was able to see family and friends on Zoom pretty much. So I was home with the fam. I hope that you had a safe and happy Thanksgiving as well. I wanted to talk tonight to open the show about something that's giving me nightmares. We've talked about this before. I have very vivid dreams. I always remember my dreams, always. Like I rarely go a night where I sleep and I don't remember everything that went on in my brain. And most people are like, oh, that's so cool. I never remember my dreams. It's not cool. My dreams are terrifying. They're stressful. And they're always bizarre and weird. They're usually stress dreams. Some sort of chase is happening. I'm late for a show. I can't find the showroom. Sometimes I'm waitressing, which goes way back. I haven't waitressed in years. And I have too many tables, or I'm spilling food or drinks, or I forget to put something in. It's always crazy. The thing that's keeping me up at night now is this monolith that arrived and was discovered in a Utah desert. So some animal control folks, if you haven't heard about this, animal control in the desert, I guess they have to control that. Thank you, producer Matt. They found this image in the desert, when they were in a helicopter, and they see this structure. So of course they want to investigate. So they go closer and they land and they look at it, and it's this giant, this doesn't do it justice. It's humongous and it's in the ground. So of course they brush it off and they say that it is probably some artist who wanted to create something, right, during this change, right? Because they're calling it a monolith. And if you don't know what that is, it's a column, large statue formed in a single block or stone. This definitely looks metal to me, and it's definitely one piece, and it's terrifying. I immediately thought when I heard about it last week that this came from some sort of alien. This has got to be a marker for some spaceship that's looking to land or what have you. I hear today it's gone. It disappeared yesterday. Suddenly it was just gone. And now there's one on a hillside in Romania, which is terrifying. Thank you, Matt. Matt just put his cursor on it. So the one that's bronzy with the beautiful Utah stones, those red rocks, that's the Utah one. And then that one's now gone. It's just gone. And it's tall. It's like 2 people tall. It's big. It's not like it's some artist. I don't know how an artist would lug that in. I don't know. You'd have to be very motivated. And now it's gone. And now they discovered this one on a hillside in Romania. Producer Matt, will you come in for a second? Because
I will. Hi.
I'm scared.
Well, here's the thing. And Rachel Andelman is in the chat right now. She's being very supportive. But
Fantastic.
her guess is it's probably for a movie or something.
Oh.
And she says, and quote, if it's not for a movie, I'll Venmo you $2 But then she said that made that 20.
20 bucks.
So if we find out it's not for a movie, get a hold of Rachel because she will Venmo you $20.
I would never take producer Rachel. I would never take your money. I also, Allison in the chat is saying it reminds of the 2001 A Space Odyssey.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of people are saying. They're saying
Right.
that that's what it reminds them of. Now,
Right.
my rational brain,
Mhm.
and I don't know if we've talked about it on this show.
Mm.
We have talked about it, you and I,
Mhm.
that I have two brains. I have two Kellys that live in my head. There's rational Kelly that's like,
Right.
no, Kelly, someone did this for the art. They created it, they dragged it in, and they put it up, and they're
Yeah.
happy with themselves. Their art is being displayed, and it's will be discovered when it's right for the people. The other Kelly inside my head is like, this is some sort of marker, and
Right.
it was put there so that they know where to take all of us when they decide who gets to go on the ship.
Absolutely. Let's see. I'm going to. Sorry, I'm looking for the newspaper, like
Thank
the
you.
news thing. So yes, this was in the news. I'm going to post it. This was in the New York Post.
Okay.
So I was looking for.
I mean,
I don't know how reputable the New York Post is. Pretty
I feel like the
reputable.
Post is still okay, I think.
So there's a little.
It's a little terrifying. So you
Yeah.
posted this in the comments. So Matt
Yeah.
has he's fact checking.
Here, I'm going to toss it over on Facebook too. I just realized
Nice.
I just put that in Twitch and
our
not
Twitch
on
chat.
Facebook. So I'm going to put it on Facebook.
I mean, I feel like 2020 is one of the years that we're all going to remember it, right? We do not need anything else to help us remember.
Please, we're fine.
Please and thank you. So if
save some for 2021.
Oh my goodness. If you are an artist and during the pandemic, you decided to erect this monolith to give people something to consider during 2020, no need. No need. I love that you want to do your art. No need. No one needs something to talk about. We don't need it.
We've already got a Banksy. We don't need another Banksy.
That's right. How did they get it out? That's my thing.
Well, I mean, you don't know what it's made out of. You don't know how deep it's in.
Yeah, I know. It's
honestly, this is the first I'm hearing about it.
Wow.
I try not to look at the news. I bury my head directly into the sand, and I use the internet for Facebook and this.
Well,
that's it.
You're crushing it, and I'm very proud of you. And the chat is blowing up with just 3 people just like all their thoughts. I wanted to share that with something interesting, right? But please stop giving us things to talk about. We don't need weird things. I don't need something else giving me a stress dream. I just don't. And also, if there aren't aliens that are monitoring us, can you just send down a criteria? Like, what are you looking for? Do you want like strong people? Do you need strong people? Do you need fast people? Do you need people good at math? Do you need some sort of like jovial, adorable, middle-aged woman who will tell you jokes, right? Like, what do you need? What's the criteria? How do we get there?
Yeah, just a book, just like maybe a. Well, I mean, you remember that Twilight Zone, To Serve Man?
No.
Where the aliens gave the book, or they found the book To Serve Man, and it turns out it was a cookbook.
I forgot about that. Now I can hang on, I want to write that down and add it to things I'll have to unpack when I wake up tomorrow morning.
Sorry, Kelly. I shouldn't have said that.
You're fine. It's fine. I do remember that actually. It was really creepy. Did you ever watch Little House on the Prairie when you were young?
No.
Are you saying no because you don't want to admit it? Or are you saying no because you really didn't?
No, I never really got into it. I know the guy. I remember in my face, I see the woman that played Laura Ingalls Wilder.
Yes, Half Pint. Yep.
And then I see the guy's face that played her dad.
Right. I never got super into it either. Like, I stopped tracking it a little bit once like her sister went blind, and then there was like Albert. I don't know. My point is this. I had a dream the other night. There was an episode, you bring up episodes that like we've pushed it down in a way. There was an episode of Little House on the Prairie that was about a man who would put on a clown mask and chase a girl in the woods on her way home from school.
Nope.
And I had a dream the other night that there was a man with a clown mask chasing me, and I killed him.
Well, now
So
I'm gonna have a dream of a man in a clown mask chasing.
I'm just trying to share.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna go backstage. You've got to.
I know, and I'm gonna bring in my guest because I'm super excited he's here. All right, thanks, Matt. Yeah, so read up on this. Let's get some info going on this. Feel free to message me if you want to talk about it. It's giving me a little bit of anxiety, right? Although it was nice to see something else on the news than what we've had to indulge this entire year. So there's that. I'm really excited for my guest tonight. I have a Kelly booked guest and I have a surprise guest. And before we can get to the surprise guest, let's bring in my guest. He is a comedian, an actor, a podcaster. He is a host, an MC, an improviser, and he's also one of my dear friends. Please welcome my very funny friend, Corey Rodriguez.
Oh, hey.
Oh, look at you with the background. That looks awesome. Is this like it's you on the ship.
Yes, that's
Yes.
from a ship there. Yeah.
I'm not stalking you, I promise.
Yeah, that was a back when we could be with people. There was
when we could be with the people. Now, you actually are. I'm just going to go right to the ship's question. You have an interesting clip that's out on the internet where you worked everywhere. Let's be honest. I don't even want to say like you worked a ton of cruise ships because you did, and you're that friend in my life where we have the same job, and you always seem to be doing the job just a little bit harder than I do the job. And
I don't know. I'm trying to survive.
Listen, I love and respect you for that. It's like one of my favorite things is when you've been gone for 3 weeks and you come home and call me in a whirlwind and you're like, yo, what have you been doing? Here's what I've been doing. And I'm like, well, now I need to make a list of things I need to be doing because clearly I'm not working as hard as you. So you have a clip out there. People can find you all over the internet. I mean, there's so much Corey Rodriguez to enjoy. It's not even funny. There's a clip, though, of you talking to a guy about, do you know what I'm talking about?
What, the bear attack?
Yeah, the bear attack.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So what happened was I was on a ship, and at the time I was doing this joke. I used to do this joke about I would talk about, like, you know, if you got attacked by a bear, you know, like they always say to play dead. And I was like, how do you play dead? And I was like, how can you play dead if you're attacked by a bear? I was like, I don't know if I could lay there and play dead when I'm getting hit by a bear. I was like, at the very least, I'm going to be making some noises. I'm going to be like I'm going to be doing something. And then I was like, what's the bear's qualification for saying that you're dead? You know what I mean? Like, is he checking your pulse? Like, how does the bear know? Like, can you grunt? Does the bear, like, he's dead? No, he's not moving. You know, so whatever. So I'm doing a silly joke. But before I get into it, I'm like, this is just a rhetorical question I ask. I'm like, has anybody ever been attacked by a bear? Right, because they tell you to play dead. This is how I'm going into the joke at the beginning. Anybody been attacked by a bear? Okay, because they tell you you're supposed to play dead. So it just was habit for like as long as I had been doing the joke. So I'm on this ship and I go, has anybody been attacked by a bear? Because I didn't. And then as I'm going on, I see everyone like, this guy right here, like right here, right over there, that guy right there, and everyone's pointing, and I'm like, oh. So, you really were attacked? I was like, man, shut up. You really were attacked by a bear? And he's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, who's attacked by a bear? And he was like, yeah, I've been attacked by a bear. He was like, I was attacked by a grizzly. I said, a grizzly? Oh. You know, and so I was like, come on up. And like, can I swear here?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I wanted to be like, oh shit, right? I was attacked by a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
Cruise ship, so I had to be squeaky clean. So I was just like, oh shoot, somebody attacked by a bear. Come on up here, tell us about that bear, right? So he comes up, and we just have a whole conversation, and this guy tells me this horrific bear story, how he was out hunting grizzly bears, him and his brother-in-law, and basically his name is Greg Matthews. He wrote a book. The following week he was going to be on a week or two after I happened to bring this guy up. He's gonna be on. I Survived. Oh no, not I Survived.
Is
Most
it the one?
Aliens or I Survived. They're one of those shows where, like,
Gotcha. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you just lived by the
Yeah.
skin of your teeth type of thing. And so I was like, yo, this is so nuts. So it tells the story basically really quick. They were hunting a bear. They ran into a mama bear. The mama bear wasn't having it.
Mhm.
And then it was just a story of craziness. You know what I mean? So you can go online and find that. But the guy had horrific injuries, but this guy was beautiful. When I was talking to him, I was like, who's your surgeon? And I was like, how did they people have never been touched by a bear. They look no way as good as you. How this guy, now, not to be all gross and scare anybody, but
Yeah.
this guy had his scalp ripped off all the way down his face. That's what the bear did. This guy, you would never know. It ripped him from the back and ripped his face. He said when he was waiting, his face was hanging. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. But,
That's disgusting.
It's unbelievable. And he's like, everything was like this. But then when you see him, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, all I thought about
They
him.
just were like, "You're fine."
Yeah, I guess they were like, "You're back, face off," right? Like, what?
You're back.
Yeah, you're back, face off.
Yeah, basic. Yeah.
So it was just funny because I'll wrap it up and say that
No, you're fine. We have plenty of time.
having a crazy story like that where people are like, it's horrific, and I have people cracking up the whole time as he's telling the story, and it was just like we had fun with it. And when it was all done, he was like, "Wow!" Like, he was like, "That was one of the most traumatic things, obviously, that's ever happened in my life." And he goes, "I just laughed about it with you the whole time, and you made it a lot of fun." And somebody happened to catch it on film. 2 people did, and then they found me throughout the ship later and was like, "We think you might want this." And then they sent me the links. I was like, "This is so crazy! Like, what are the chances?" I just thought this. I didn't know it was recorded. You know what I mean? And then I just took it and posted it, and it kind of went a little crazy on the internet. That got me work.
I think that that's one of the things that's so great about you, though, Core, because some people might like get that little morsel and be like, I gotta stay I gotta stay the course here, right? And you were like, that cat shows up every time I'm on any Zoom call with you or anything. That cat is like, just so you know, I'm here.
She just rolled it in.
So I'm a cat. I live here. I let Corey live with me. What's his name again, or her name?
That's Libby. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I thought it was part of your background. I'm like, a Bengal tiger.
She just pops in.
She's great. I love that, though, that you grabbed it and you put it on the internet, and now people are watching it and enjoying it. And you have stumbled on some really cool things this way, right? You're just push that cat.
Just her butt. Just
her butthole in your face. You have a podcast called 30 Jobs Later.
30 Jobs Later, yeah.
Which has been around forever, I feel like.
Right.
I've been on it. It's a great podcast. People should check that out. You now, in the pandemic, created a children's show with your son, who is the most precious little biscuit ever. And I don't think you can talk about it, but that show has got a little heat.
Yeah, there's a demo in the works, and it's with that. And that show was created out of friends complaining about just being at home all the time. Like, especially like we're used to being on the road. Like, I need to be away a little bit. I'm a better person if I'm away a little bit. Like, literally, I'm a better human if I have time away. I'm just better when I'm home. And it's not like absent makes the heart go fond. It's not that. It's just that's been my life for years. And then everything came to a halt, and it's like, now you're home. And it's like, all right. But like, just my brain, the way I am, the way I function, the way, like, I love people, I love my people. But then, when you're on the road a little bit, and when I say on the road, I don't mean like, I think traditionally when people think on the road, they just think that you're just like traveling in some van, like city to city. When I say on the road, I just mean like I may be gone 2 weekends out of the month, or maybe a week and a half out of the month or something like that, but staggered. But that's time away where I'm in the car by myself. I can make all the calls I need to make. But when you're home more and you're on the phone, everyone's looking at you like, that's what you're going to do all day? Be on the phone? On the phone? And it's just like,
You have 2 small children, too. I mean, I guess Kingston's not as young anymore, but he's they're
small.
Well, he acts like he's 36.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
He's
Fair.
very, but
It's
you have two small. I mean, I get it, right? And I feel like this is what a lot of our conversations over the last
yeah.
however many months, 9 months have been, is that we will talk and just be like, no, we're fine. We're normal. This is just, we are used to, I would have minimum 10 hours of driving a week
Yeah.
where I was alone, where I could process thoughts. And
Yep.
also, I don't think it's any different for someone who has a job where they had a commute, right? They get
Right.
used to that routine.
Right.
And yeah, so you decided you were going to do this show called Corey Stories, and there's a ton of them, right? People can go
Yeah.
find them and watch them, and
They can
there's
find them on YouTube. They're for the kids. There's a lot of adults like to watch it too, because there's some humor in there for the adults, but primarily it's for the kids. It's squeaky clean, but at the same time, there's some adult things in there, but it's not adult humor. It's just, I just speak as an adult speaking
right.
with kids to kids and stuff. But there's nothing. You can have your 3-year-old watch it. You can have your 13-year-old watch it. You can have your 93-year-old grandmother watch it. So it's fine. It's just something fun. And it was just to give people a break from being hooked up with each other all the time. And it just kind of worked out. And somebody found it, and they were like, "We love this thing. It needs to be XYZ." And so that's in the process of happening.
Good. I'm so glad. It's so fun. I was a guest, and we did a lot of dancing, and there were songs, and I loved what I watched it from the beginning, because I was like, what is he up to now?
Yeah,
what is this? And it was just you. And then all of a sudden one day Kingston arrived, and I was like, now what's he doing? What's he up to now? And I just love it. I love all the nuances and all the songs. And it's really, really fun for everybody. And I do think it's for whoever, right? It's like for whoever wants to watch it, and so fun and so brilliant. And that's called Corey Stories. Let's talk about some of the stuff that you do that's not for the kids, because there's some stuff you do that it's not for the kids at all. You're a clean comic for the most. I mean, I always feel weird when people say that about you, or they say it about me, because I'm like, am I?
Yeah, I have a belt of comedy, and clean is one of the tools.
Yeah,
for sure. It's for sure, but very dirty is another tool that's on there. You know what I mean?
Filthy back of my brain thought that shouldn't have come out of my mouth, but it's here now. That's also in the belt. Yeah.
I mean, I do colleges, church. It literally, when people say that, they try to be funny. They're like, I do kids' parties, I do churches, I do whatever. It's like, no, I do. Churches, colleges,
everything.
Clubs, you know what I mean? It's cruise ships, all of it, throw it in there.
You have a Dry Bar special out right now, which that you have to be clean. And
clean.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't say that. You don't have to be squeaky clean. It's in your best interest to be squeaky clean, because that's what they want from you at Dry Bar Comedy. And that's in Utah, everyone, where the Monolith is.
Which Kelly just did. She's not saying.
I did just do a Dry Bar special as well.
Kelly just did a Dry Bar special, which is going to be dope.
Mine comes out next year. Yours is already out, though, so let's talk about yours.
Okay, all right. Well, I want to talk about yours too.
And I love you for that, but let's talk about yours first, right? Where the Monolith was. Matt's in a timeout for 2 minutes. Go sit in the penalty box. Okay. You have this Dry Bar. How many views? I'm so sorry, friend. How many views do you have on that Dry Bar special? Is it 1 million?
To date on the Dry Bar special, there's over 40 million views.
40 million times people have watched it? 40 million people.
40 million views on it. And it's circulated. Like one of the clips, I think, this clip I did about sunscreen has over like 24 million, 23, 24 million views on it. And it just caught fire. Like I don't, you don't know that's gonna happen. You just do it, and then you release it, and then people grab it, and they're like, oh, and then there's people arguing that Black people don't need sunscreen. There's people arguing that I'm right. You do need sunscreen. It's just funny. And the back and forth that people do, and then I jump in and I'm like, thanks for watching the clip.
I wear sunscreen.
Yeah, I'm like, I wear sunscreen, by the way. You'll say you should wear it. The sun affects all colors.
Everyone. I love that so much. And then you just did, during the pandemic, you did Huckabee. You went on the the Huckabee
I went
show.
on the Mike Huckabee show. I went on the Mike Huckabee show because and this was before the election and everything. This was way
Mhm.
before the election. I went on because I was like, I don't agree fundamentally with Mike Huckabee, right? But I don't know. I just felt like, I don't know, Kelly. I felt like I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, whatever. You still want to laugh. Still need to laugh. And so
Right.
at the end of the day, I don't agree with all of his principles and policies and everything. But I was like, you know what? His has a platform and a big platform. He's on the TBN network,
Yep.
which is the Trinity Broadcast Network. You go on this show, you do this. It was crazy. It was bigger than when I did Conan. It was bigger. That's my dryer. I'm sorry that you're hearing that right now.
It's okay.
It's gonna
Tell your cat to go get those clothes out.
Yeah, it's gonna do it one more time. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yep.
Yeah.
4.
I listen, we talked about this when you said you were going to go do Huckabee, and I said to you that listen, you're right. Everyone needs comedy. Let's start there.
Right.
Everyone needs to hear someone's point of view, right?
Right.
So for me, when you went on Huckabee, yeah, maybe you don't have the same views as Huckabee. I mean, I don't know who does, but
Right.
you went on and they got to hear your point of view. And
Yeah.
I think that's really important. It wasn't something where you were like, I don't know. You were like, I'm doing hell yeah, I'm doing it. And I was like, okay, all right.
Here's what I think. I go do these cruise ships, and many of the cruise ships that I've done some lines when it's really old. I've done some lines when it's hip, when it's younger people, right?
Sure.
And then I've done some lines when it's extra old, like they're on their way out type people. And this is the same crowd that's sitting in the Huckabee area. You know what I mean? They're the same group of people. It's just we're in a different area. So what am I going to pretend that these people don't laugh? Those people are dying at the shows. I mean, not literally. Those people are laughing at the shows.
Right.
The other people are laughing at the show. So I just go and do it, and I felt good. And to be honest, like for someone that you completely don't agree with, Mike Huckabee is so smooth, like backstage.
Yeah.
Such a nice guy, such a great politician, such a I posted a picture. I'm sure producer Matt can't get it in time, but
we'll find it.
Huckabee a fist bumping. You know what I mean? It was funny. It was like, I was like, and he was backstage like, oh, I watched your jokes. He's telling me which jokes he likes and which ones relate to him. And I'm just like, oh, this is like, he's such a politician.
One of the things I love about you, though, and this might be you're a politician in your own right, because you are just like, you're welcome. Like when we've been really lucky. We've done a lot of shows together and we've worked together a lot over the years. And if I was going to describe you, when you show up at a show, you're like, you're welcome, everybody. I'm here. And it's not in a bad way. Like a lot of people would say that that's like, oh, well, you pull it off. You're just like, yeah, I'm funny and I'm here and you're here and you're here and we all have a voice and this is great. And I'm glad I'm here. You're just so happy to be doing your job. And I think it's great that you went and did that show. And I think that while people were home, maybe wondering what their next move was going to be, you were just planning and plotting. And I think that's great. You also have been making a movie through the pandemic.
Yes. We made a movie together.
I was in one scene with you, an opening scene with you, which we had a lot of fun doing.
It was a lot of fun. I actually just watched the first edit of that. The first, it's great. Our scene is great.
We were laughing so hard. It was a problem.
Oh, it was a problem. We had to stop filming from laughing. We caught the giggles, couldn't move on.
Nope.
That was tough to move on from there. And I watched it. It's so good, Kelly. It's
good. I'm glad.
The opening scene of the movie. You and I, literally the opening scene of the movie.
It's fun. It was a lot of fun. And I think that the script is, I haven't read the whole script, but I'm getting the gist of the movie. And I think it's going to be a really cool project when it's all done. Yep. It's you and Will Noonan, right, is in this movie. And it's by Tres Gatos.
Tony V, Brad Mastrangelo, Chris Penny, Chris Tab. I mean, we're in there. I think
Christine Hurley's got a cameo in there.
Yep.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, hey Jess. I think it's just like a lot of fun and a really cool thing that you've just been working, like hustling. Can you tell me about the two questions? Then I'll let you fold your laundry, you sweet man. I've seen you post a picture of you in a starfish outfit. I'm going to need to know what that is,
Yep.
if you can tell me.
Yep.
And you were in a calendar.
It was in a calendar, yeah.
And what month were you?
I was October.
Yeah. What's
so the calendar was a thing. I wish I had it in my hands right now. I'd show you, but
they can find it on your page though. You did a little video, right?
yeah, I did a little video of it
in your stories on
It might have
Instagram.
been in my story, so it might be gone. But I have
Okay.
the calendar. It's pretty cool. But the calendar was from I did the Big Pine Comedy Festival, and while you're there, they do like this. They asked me to be part of their annual calendar they do, and it was cool. It was a fun calendar, and it was I can't remember the artist that they were mimicking her art, but it was like she has everybody post like sleeping babies and children and comfortable.
It's Ann something or other, Ann Geddes or Ann
something, right?
Yeah, she does those babies like with like a cabbage leaf on their head.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're like swaddled. Yeah.
Yep. And I had like they put me in like I had just like the top of a pumpkin. I was like
Yes.
I was sleeping with like no clothes on, and it was cool. Everything's covered, but you know, it's like cool.
Yeah.
And,
they wanted you to have clothes, but you were like, no, I'm only doing this if I can be a nude pumpkin baby sleeping.
I wanted to have clothes on, and they were like, can you take your clothes off? And I was like, all right, I'll be behind, you know, and I just was
yeah.
Like, that was cool. Ann Getty, exactly.
Getty, thank you, Allison. Yeah.
So we did it like the Ann Getty's type of thing, and
that's
that was
really
cool.
funny.
So the other thing with the starfish was a commercial I was doing.
Oh.
And it was a commercial for this product that's really, really cool. Not like I'm selling the product.
Yeah.
But, it's called this. It's like the starfish product.
Yeah.
There it is, right there. Yeah. So basically, they have you dressed as a starfish. I was like the main guy. I was I was.
The stories I came up with in my head of what that was, I was like, oh.
So this product basically, what it does is it's awesome because it cleans all your like connections in your iPhone. So it basically it's made for Apple, or it's made for iPhones, but that's Apple. So
yeah,
what it does is it cleans the connections and it cleans your cords. It cleans everything so that like if you dig into those connectors in there, it's really dirty and gross in there.
So gross, yeah.
From being in your pocket, and so like lint and everything messes it up. So like basically, if you ever had a cord that's like when you plug it in, it's like boom, 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 and you're getting annoyed, and you're like, I need a new cord. Eventually, it's not the cord all the time; it's mostly the connectors, and they're not making a good connection. Well, this particular tool,
the
starfish tool, basically you can pull out each piece of the starfish and clean your tool. So it's pretty cool. You can clean your phone and the speakers and everything, and it really gets in the grooves. And when you clean your phone with it for the first time, you see all this crap coming out. It's great.
Have you ever pulled out your ear pods and looked at the little speaker?
It's the grossest thing in the world. I think it makes me when I use your AirPod, I get anxiety because I'm like, first of all, I don't know what's gonna come out of your ear.
No,
and second of all, I'm like, when I pull it out of my ear, I gotta like sneakily wipe it on my leg real quick so you don't see.
Right.
And hope that none of the grossness falls into the AirPod before you get to see that, because you know, like when you look at you're like, this is gross.
It's so gross.
Have you ever smelled your AirPods?
No.
Smell it.
No, I'm not doing it.
Take it out and smell it. Just smell it real quick. It smells like an old dishcloth. It stinks. Go ahead. Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like that. You know that I'm going to be up late tonight, just like cleaning my ears, being like peroxide. You are a delight, and I love you so much. And
Kelly, you're wrapping up right now. Before you wrap up,
what?
I can tell this is a wrap up. No, I just want to tell people I did release a special as well during this whole thing.
Oh, I was gonna get to it. Honey.
Oh, I thought you were leaving. I thought you were like only 2 things.
No.
I'm sorry. All right.
No, you're totally perfect. Have a sip. Let's have a sip.
Let's have a sip. Okay.
What you got in that glass?
I got.
Just tell your cat to get the fuck out of here.
I said, stop hitting me with your tail.
Can you get the fuck out of here?
I'm drinking something called Four Roses.
Four Roses.
Four Roses bourbon. That's what
Oh,
I had a big
interesting.
cube in there. That's my favorite with the nice big,
Oh, yeah, the big cube.
big.
Do you do a round or a square big cube?
Today I actually I had a square in there earlier, and then I put a round right before the show.
I've had two of these.
Yeah.
One was square, one was round. I
Yeah,
love it.
and I went. That was one of the best purchases. You know, when you're at someone's house and they're like, or you're at a bar and they're like, I have the square molds of the round. But just
Yeah.
go to Amazon. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, why don't I do these things sooner? Just go to Amazon and get what you want. Like,
Yeah.
it makes me happy to have that mold. I'll be
Yeah.
at my neighbor's house and they'll be like, oh, I got the, you know, she comes out, she has the big ball or the,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. And I feel like I'm like, you're so cool. You got the mold. It's like $10.
Yeah.
Just go get the thing, and then you
Splurge.
can have a whole tray of molds.
Treat yourself.
Right? You know what I mean? And then I get it,
Yes.
and then I'm like, I'm so happy. Now I got my own, and I'm like, I don't need anybody. I don't
That's
need
right. BYOC, bring my own cubes
That's right.
or balls.
Yeah.
BYO balls.
I always bring my own balls, Kelly.
I know you do. I want to close my conversation with you talking about the thing that I'm the most excited about for you. You filmed a special for Epics, right? What's
Yeah.
it called?
Epics.
No, the special.
Oh, the special is on a show called Unprotected Sets.
Yes.
Unprotected Sets.
We're going to show a little clip from it when we say goodbye to you, but
Okay.
what was that experience like? Because you go from Dry Bar, which you shot a few years ago, just so everybody knows.
Yep.
You can still watch it though. Go just Google it and you'll find Corey. And this one, they were like, go for it. Whatever you want, right?
It's almost weird when someone's like, have at it. And then it's like, I still feel a little bit like, I still kind of want to use this tape everywhere. I don't need to go crazy. Like,
right.
It's like, I go crazy when I need to, but when someone gives me the free reign to go crazy, I'm like, I don't need to go that crazy. Let's scale it back a little bit. Let me be the guy who doesn't go that crazy, but whatever. It just felt good. Like, but it was a little bit of pressure. Actually, that's a lie. It was a lot of bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Because at the time I hadn't been up very much.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to like cram in some sets. This was happening during the pandemic. So, you know, a lot of us weren't even getting up.
Yeah.
So I had gotten up. The only time I had worked was online. So a lot of people refused to do these Zoom shows, like Zoom comedy or whatever, but
right.
I had to do it. And so I had been doing it. And then I was still working on my chops from doing Corey Stories, from doing that show, and being able to just talk in front of the camera, talk. Then I was able to do a couple of Zoom shows, a couple corporate shows, and then that really helped me. And so by the time I was ready to do that show, it wasn't like I had done nothing.
Right.
And then I got like 1 or 2 live shows under my belt at that point, and then I went to film the special. But that's crazy. Like everything I was doing in there, I would have worked out so much more.
I know.
You know, so but it was like it's an opportunity. I'm gonna take it, make the best of it. I'm just gonna work it, you know. And it's like I made it happen. I'm not disappointed with it at all, you know.
Good. Well, it's muscle memory, right? Like
somewhat, but I mean, I was doing some new stuff. Like I was all pandemic happy, so I was doing a lot of that. But luckily, what they did for me is a lot of people were doing pandemic heavy stuff.
Yeah,
trimmed out a lot of that stuff on me, which made me kind of happy because then it made it timeless. But I was a little bit sad at the same time because I wanted to mark this era in time with this is what I did.
Right.
So there's a couple of jokes in there that are related to, you know, the whole coronavirus or pandemic in general, whatever.
Yeah.
Everything else you don't know, it could be, you know, whenever. No, nothing.
You have a footprint, a thumb, you know what I mean? Like you've got a thumbprint on this time because you have so much content out there that you shot during I think that I totally get what you're saying. And I agree with you. When I went to do the Dry Bar special, I hadn't been up like I normally would be. And, you know, I'm listening to my own albums on the plane just to get timing. I was like, just so I can get some timing, like, what's my timing? And you and I have both been doing Zoom shows since the beginning, right? Tony V, you, Bethany Van Delft, Dan Crone, right? We have a few coming up actually together. Kelly and Corey available for corporates.
Yes, we do.
Plan your holiday party with Kelly and Corey.
We kill your holiday party.
We'll kill it.
Seriously.
And yeah, and so when you said, I think I texted you and you were like, I'm not home. I'm away, because you filmed it in October.
No, I filmed a special actually in June.
You did?
Yeah, that was in June. That was in the summer. It was like
time is fluid
in LA. Like,
I mean,
in
what?
Burbank, California.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Hills, outside. Everybody at the show was tested, was COVID tested.
Yeah.
All the performers were COVID tested. Everybody in there was all tested. It was crazy. So it was just like, it was kind of like comfortable, but everyone was still masked up. They take a mask, but it was like a beautiful set. So make sure you guys check out the show.
Well, we're gonna show a clip of it. Yeah. For sure.
Let me say this last thing about it too.
Yeah.
Something I was thinking about. Like, I think it's annoying. It's funny and it's annoying when you do something like this, because I did it and it's on Epix. It wasn't Netflix. It wasn't Channel 5. It wasn't HBO. It wasn't Showtime, right? So people are like, Epix, what's Epix, right? So half the people are like, what's Epix? And then other people are like, I think it's the new Stars.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, right? So you get people who are trying to figure out what it is. That's number one. Number two, people are like, well, where do I get it? And then they find out, like, Epix, it's like a free trial on Amazon, free trial on Hulu, and then you cancel after like 7 days. But if you don't, I think it's like $5.99 a month.
Yeah.
But I got family and friends calling me like, oh man, $5.99. I can't add another subscription to it. Like, it's $5.99. So then it's like, then I gotta feel bad. It's like the performer side of things, where like you're like annoyed, but it's almost like whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, people are pretending like, if you came out to the show or you watch somebody else's special, you pay more than that. Or if you came out to the show, you know, your $5.99 is not getting you a wine. Okay. So it's like, what the fuck is the problem? And it's just like, because people put value on what they want. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't wait to get to the point when it's like, that is just not a thing. Number one, you're on a network where people are not like, how do I find that? You know what I mean? Like, where do I get that at? I'm
pretty sure you can say it into your Xfinity remote.
Oh, you can.
So,
if you have Comcast, if you have Xfinity, but whoever has what, if they don't have it, the app is like streaming free in so many places, but it's just the way people act. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the part that you deal with as a performer, the part that you deal with when you gotta just like listen to people complain about, because when you're close to home, people don't respect what you're doing until everybody else does. And so the people closest to you, like, just like when people come to our shows, they'll ask, like, if you have people coming to your show, they'll be like, how's the parking? Like, how's the fucking parking? I don't know. I'm headlining the show.
Can you get food there? Is there food?
Is there food? Yeah.
I don't work in the kitchen. I work on the stage. So I have no idea. I've seen someone eat a chicken finger there. So it might have been from their purse. I don't know. Right? Like, are you going to start on time? Yeah, it's a show. Yeah,
what time do you go up? What the fuck? The show starts at 8. What time do you go up? This isn't what do you do? This isn't a movie. You don't ask. You don't ask when does Denzel get on the screen? When does Denzel show up? You know what I mean? You just go to the movie when it's starts.
Why don't you just come for the show? Please don't bust in halfway through the show because all you want to see is me. Also, if you can spend money on a ticket and show up late, pay the $5.99 and see Corey on Epic.
This is what I'm saying. The shit that it annoys me. It annoys me so much. What time? What, you know, and they just ask you all these dumb questions. Can you get me? Listen, I want to be right in the front. Do you know? Let me just put this disclaimer out there to everybody who doesn't know this shit.
Yeah.
If you go see somebody in your family or your close friend at a show, they do not want up front. Never. You know why they don't want you up front? They don't want to talk to you. I don't want people talking to me. Yo, say that thing that you said to us the other night. No, this is a show.
Right.
For everybody. And we don't I'm not gonna direct this shit to you right now. I might call you out later from the back or something, but we can't direct everything to you up front. Number one. We can't, if I want to talk shit to somebody up front, I don't want to refer to you because you don't want to talk to them and they're like, I remember you when you was in diapers. It's like, this is not what this is about.
This isn't about my diapers.
This is
This
that.
is about me. Yeah, the worst thing to me ever is in a theater. Because in a theater, you can only see the first couple rows sometimes because the lights are hot.
Right.
Why would I want to step out on a theater and have basically just friends, people I know really well, and I can't see any of the strangers?
Right.
Like I don't want to see you. I'll call you up if I want to. If you want to laugh, I'll just bring a potato salad and we'll have a barbecue. Do not come and sit right in the front of my show. Like you've heard it too. That's the other thing.
Right. And you looking at me, and then you like the most pressure. Now this is some inside baseball shit.
This is very inside baseball.
The most pressure you feel is like, you have some family member or you have a friend that's at the show, right? And they'll be like, "You do that shit you did last time." You're like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
Can you bad enough to me right now? Can you? Do you know there's 200 other people in this room that haven't heard any of this shit, and then you go into one of the jokes that that they've heard before, and they're just looking at you. Oh god, here you doing this one, and you're like, why do I have to see your face? Stop.
Right. Oh, listen, we have to say goodnight. We have to say goodnight. Please go to CoreyRodriguez.com. And Matt, actually, we'll play out on Corey's clip. That'll be our final thing we show on the show. Thank you. Matt knows that when I have guests on, I have a love fest with them. The show could be 4 hours easily.
Yeah, this was awesome, Kelly.
Instead, I'm just going to call you tomorrow and we'll finish talking.
We'll finish having this convo.
And I adore you. And I'm so glad that you're killing it and doing great. Yes. That's the Kelly McFarland hashtag. I love you, my darling friend. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Back at you. Thank you so much. All right. See you.
Bye. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Corey is like that friend at work that if we had an HR department, they would have pulled us in by now. Because we just don't know when to stop. That was so much fun. We'll play Corey's clip from Epics on the way out tonight and at the end of the show, and you can enjoy it as we say goodbye. We do have a surprise guest this week, and I feel like I'm in a vacuum, and I think it's from the Monolith. I feel like time is escaping us now. So we do have a surprise guest for me this week. Matt gave me one clue. He said he thinks that I know them. He doesn't know how well I know them. So let's invite them in on our segment we call Nice to Meet Ya. Oh, it's just Catherine.
Hi.
Jess, if I knew you were hanging around, I would have just shut that boy down or brought you in. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm fine. Jess Cashin, the very talented, the very funny, the very brilliant comedian. How are you? What's going on?
We're all just hanging in there, aren't we?
We are. We're doing it. We're doing it, and it's great. Thank you for hanging in.
Crushing it.
We're doing great.
Every day.
Now, Jess, have you been doing online performing at all? And tell people where they can find you.
I sure have. I've been doing
leading questions, by the way. Leading questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right here on 2MB. Been doing lots of stuff. I am a part of Quarantine Action Wrestling on Thursday nights. You can see me there. Also, the Sleepover Show.
Yes.
Every other Saturday, where myself and a few of your other favorite ladies act like 13-year-olds for an hour.
Very fun. I've watched it, and I like it very much.
It is very fun.
It is very, very fun. That's so great. And talk to me about Quarantine Action Wrestling. What is your character's name?
So I have two characters, and for anybody who watches Quarantine Action Wrestling, they are definitely different people.
Okay.
They're absolutely two different people.
What are they? 2MB says, are they?
So when I started Quarantine Action Wrestling, my character was Cold Hard Cashin.
It's the best name ever. Why didn't you legally change your name to that?
I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about changing my middle name from Lynn to Cold Hard so that my name is Jess Cold Hard Cashin.
My middle name is also Lynn. And yes. Are you an E or no E?
No E.
Me either.
Yeah, but I thought that I had an E forever until I went to get my driver's license and had to pull up my social security card. And I was like, oh, I've been spelling my own middle name wrong for my entire life.
Parents.
Yeah, well, no, and then I went and told my mom, and she was like, no, you have an E in your name. And I was like, not according to the United States, I don't.
Way to go, Mom. Yeah, Lynn
Yeah.
Fest. Thank you, JJ Wilco 12. Hashtag Lovefest Linfest now.
Yeah.
So you have two characters on Quarantine Action. If you were going to describe, because I've talked about QAW, Quarantine Action Wrestling, on this show before, and I wonder if you could describe it in like 5 words. Can you describe it in 5 words?
Oh, describe it in 5 words. Man.
You're the most talented improviser, so I know you can do it.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, the most.
You are.
Let's see. Comedians, wrestling, deep lore, promos.
I love it. I mean, that to me nailed it. That's the best one I've had so far, I think.
Yeah.
So you have 2 characters, and what are their? You don't have to tell us.
Yeah. So Cold Hard Cashin was my first character. Cold Hard Cashin unfortunately was forced to leave Quarantine Action Wrestling by her mother. And so when Cold Hard Cashin left, another character by the name of Bold Hard Bashin appeared.
Love it.
And she's definitely a different person. They're different people. Bold Hard Bashin has a British accent. Like, they're different people.
You know, sometimes that's 2MB just said. BHB has an accent, and
so there's no way they're the same person.
There's no way. There's no way that you're. How would you pull that off?
You couldn't. It's impossible.
You couldn't do it. And Quarantine Action Wrestling is on Thursday nights, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and Sleepover is every other Saturday, and you just had one last weekend, right?
We just had one this past weekend. Yes.
Great. What else are you working on? What else is going on?
I just turned 30. That was
happy birthday! Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yes.
I loved my 30s.
Did you? Because I've been it's like it took a second for me to like, okay, like 20s, they're done, they're over. Not the way I saw going out.
I mean, look, all it is an excuse to be able to really go for it when you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Very true. Very true.
If you could do anything for your 30th birthday, what would it be?
Oh gosh. Really would just be like, it'd probably be going out for karaoke. Like, is my jam.
I would
want to like do like if I had my perfect world, it would be like show at IB.
Yeah.
Time at the field, and then going out for karaoke.
I mean, it sounds like a good night to me.
Yeah.
Come on. I feel like that might be a night you've had before.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Every week.
How was your Thanksgiving? Do you celebrate Thanksgiving?
I did celebrate Thanksgiving. It was good. Our oven broke. So that was a cool thing that happened.
How'd you cook that bird?
Luckily it broke after the bird was done.
Oh.
So that was good. So basically the bird finished, we took it out.
Yeah.
And then my mom was like, okay, we don't need to put sides in for a little bit, so I'll just turn the oven off.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to stay on. And then she went to turn it back on again to cook the sides.
Oh no.
And it preheated to 130 and just stopped. And so we were like, okay.
Huh?
I mean, we have the turkey, so that's good. But then the broiler still worked for some reason. It just wouldn't bake. So we were like, okay, we're gonna broil the stuffing, see how that goes. It turned out okay. So
I bet it was delicious because it got crunchy.
Yes, it did. Well, so we put it on the bottom rack and put it on a low broil, so it didn't like get too like crunchy on top and then mush in the middle.
And you got to be with family.
I did, yeah. So I'm currently with my parents. And my sister and her kids came over because we're all in a bubble together.
Yep.
And so that was nice. So we had a smaller gathering, and then my brother and his family and my other sister, we all got together on a Zoom call so we could still see each other.
We did that too with my parents and my husband's has siblings, and so we all kind of did Zoom calls in between eating, right?
Yeah.
Do you do anything fun with your leftovers, Jess? Do you do anything exciting?
I don't know if it's exciting, but my mom makes turkey soup every year. It was
Yum.
something that my grandmother did. Her mother every year would make turkey soup and deliver it around to everybody. And now my mom has continued the tradition of making a turkey soup.
I love that.
None of us actually like it.
Oh, what's wrong with it?
It just doesn't, just not a ton of flavor. It is made with love.
Oh,
and that part is delicious, and
yeah.
I eat it.
Would you say that the love is a hug for your mouth, but the broth is like a bath for your tonsils?
Yes, that's an excellent way of putting it.
Yeah,
that's an excellent way of putting it.
Yeah, and how are you going to break that news, right?
Oh,
like,
we won't. No, we're taking it to the grave, baby. My grandmother still thought that we all loved the turkey soup.
Yeah. Do you do anything?
Honestly, truth be told, I don't think my mom likes it all that much, but she makes it because it's a thing that we do.
I mean, it's kind of sweet, and it's kind of like, like, 2MB says, and I believe this is Maddie, says, you just talked about it on the internet.
My mom won't see this.
It's fine. My parents aren't watching either. They do the replay. We've started to get creative with the stuffing. So my husband makes this bread stuffing with pork sausage in it. And I'm part French. Yeah. So my mother always made just pork stuffing, which Canadian French pork stuffing is a little weird.
Yeah.
And delicious. I mean, it's pork.
What's weird about it?
It's pork and potato, and you mash it all together. And then you put in saltines, salt and pepper, cornflakes, anything. It's so delicious, though. It's so good.
It sounds good. It's just not like any stuffing I've ever had.
It's a lot of meat. And then my husband makes this stuffing, which I love now, right? Like, we adopt the family that we choose, right? My friends also have some stuffing that I also love. We put ours in the waffle maker and made stuffing waffles. Stop the presses. So good. I highly recommend it.
My niece found something on the TikTok that she wanted to do with the mashed potatoes, because my niece is a fiend for mashed potatoes.
Okay.
That was something like, she showed me the video. It was almost like making a croquette, it seemed like, but it was like flat. It wasn't actually like to be like a croquette would be, but kind of similar concept of like taking potatoes and then like putting in like cheese and a couple of other things and then frying them.
So almost like a potato pancake type of situation?
Yeah, somewhere between like a croquette and a latke.
I mean,
it looked very tasty.
A friend of mine made turkey stuffing cranberry egg rolls.
Ooh.
And you dunk them in gravy. I mean, I just want to do apps next year. That's all I want.
Yeah, that's what I come for. So like I said, I just turned 30. My birthday often falls on Thanksgiving, or not often falls on Thanksgiving, but does occasionally fall on Thanksgiving.
Sure, yeah.
And growing up, I hated almost every Thanksgiving food. Did not like turkey, did not like stuffing, cranberry sauce, squash, none of it. I liked the mashed potatoes, and that was pretty much it. So Thanksgiving was like torture for me, because I was like, it's my birthday and I am being forced to eat so many foods that I hate.
Everything's mushy.
Yeah, but I loved the apps on Thanksgiving. So I was like, okay, I can just stuff my face with like cocktail shrimp and I'll be fine. But now, as I've gotten older, I've grown to appreciate Thanksgiving foods much more. But I often think that my aversion to Thanksgiving food is because I was born the day after Thanksgiving, and my mom basically refused to go into labor on Thanksgiving. She was like, I am not having a hospital Thanksgiving. I am having my mother's turkey. I don't care what this baby wants. I'm not doing it. So she like, and then she went into labor at like 2 the next morning. And so I feel like it was like me being like, yo, I'm ready to come out. And she was like, no, Thanksgiving. And then I just like from birth held this grudge against Thanksgiving food.
I feel like maybe that was your last meal in the womb and you were like, shame on you.
Yeah. And I was like, get me out. If this is what we're doing now, I'm going to get out of here.
How dare you, madam? How dare you? Oh, Jess, this is such a delight. I'm so happy to see you.
You too.
Yeah. Will you come back on the show another time?
Absolutely, I
so
will.
We can spend more time together. I'm sorry that I made you wait in the green room so long. I apologize.
I was having fun watching.
Yeah, Corey's a delight. He's a wonderful guy, and of course, producer Matt is just like an angel on earth.
A dear.
So, I'm so glad that he got you as my surprise today.
I am too.
It's nice to see. I always like to go back. And when I'm surprised, I like to see the face that I make when the guests come on. So I'll have to see if I can do a screen grab of that when your picture popped up. And I was like, just got it. It's always a lot of teeth, too many teeth.
We love it.
Thank you, Jess. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Everybody inundate Jess Cashin's social media with birthday wishes. Like, just do it. Just do it. Oh, what a fun show. Oh, that was a lot. Just do it. It was a lot of show tonight, and that was a lovely surprise guest. Matt, are you still with me?
I would never leave.
Never left.
I'm going to do a quick promo for Jess that she didn't do. She's also on a show called Mind Over Manor.
She is.
Which is a wonderful show, and she knows I'm on Team Cashin for Mind Over Manor. I feel that she got robbed a couple weeks ago, and I run the show, so I try to stay impartial.
Sure.
But she did a museum exhibit a la the musical Six, and I love.
You love the musical Six.
I love the musical Six. I went and saw. You remember when I had a Bell's palsy incident in the face, and I went and saw Six, and it was the most amazing yet most painful experience ever because the lights and the sound. It was so bright. But she did a museum exhibit where she dressed up and did all the wives, and it was so good.
Jess is a really fun performer to watch.
She really is.
I enjoy her so much. That was like Matt, if all the surprise guests are like that,
well,
like
she was the very last minute surprise guest. I had one, and then that fell through, and then she was very last minute, and she was very she was just very wonderful and said yes and saved my hide.
Well, it was great to see her. I love it. Yeah, all the surprise guests have been wonderful.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like setting a bar for myself that I just can't help to.
Yeah. I think we're at time, and I'm tired. Are you tired?
Oh.
I'm like on turkey. I'm on the turkey still.
We had chicken for our Thanksgiving, and it was so good. Your chickens
looked beautiful. They look gorgeous. You put them on the internet.
I literally just put it out on my counter today and just ate it cold with my fingers. I didn't get a plate. I didn't get a fork, a knife, nothing. I love it. I'm literally at the point with these chickens. I'm picking the meat off the bone with my fingers and just standing in the kitchen going, I guess I should eat.
This is who I am now. Yeah. On Thanksgiving night, we had eaten around 6, but we stayed up really late watching TV, and like you do on Thanksgiving.
I always stay up.
And I was like, I feel like I need a snack because we ate so late. I feel like, where's my second Thanksgiving? So I went into the kitchen and grabbed a big old turkey leg and just came back in the living room and was like eating it in my recliner. And I was like, this is who we are now. This is who we are.
I wanted that. Next time you do that, I want that as a Christmas card.
Oh.
Or maybe that's the cover of your next album is you in a recliner with a turkey leg.
Look, I don't want to let out all my sexy secrets, but that's how we keep the magic alive here at the McFarland household. What a fun show.
What a great show.
Corey and I could talk for hours. He's such a love.
So wonderful. I just met him for the first time before the show, and I feel like he and I would be friends.
you would totally be friends. He's right up. You're very similar. Thank you everyone for joining us this week. We next week we have Leanne Lord on with us, which I'm really excited about. And also maybe a surprise here and there, which would be fun. And let's let Corey play us out for just a snippet of his epic special. And don't forget to check out the entire schedule on 2MB's show lineup, 25 shows during the week on Twitch. Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
If I go to your house and your bathroom is filthy, say something. Let me know ahead of time. Just tell me you're working on the bathroom or something, right? Because I'm checking your tub. Like if I go in there and the caulking is all gold and moldy, I'm like, what the fuck is this? All you have to say to me is, I'm renovating the bathroom. And then I don't judge you anymore. But if I go in there and I look, of course I'm checking the medicine cabinet, obviously, right? But I'm over 35. I'm checking the fucking tub too. I'm like, what's in here? I'm looking in there, looking around. I'm not just looking for dirt. I'm looking at the fixtures like, that's beautiful. Look at this shit. I want to get this for my house. This is detachable. I'm checking it out. If I'm comfortable enough, I'll turn it on and be like, look at this water pressure. It's fucking nice. When you get over 35, you give a shit about water pressure. I never cared about water pressure. I got older. I was like, this is nice. I love it. You start talking to people like that makes you stay at a hotel. You're like, that hotel has great water pressure. What the fuck? I never said stuff like that.